What's going on, Alamo City Movie Talk fans? As always, I'm your host, Ryan Ryan680.
And this is Lex back at it again with another review.
Let's get right to it, Lex. If you have not already, guys, help us reach to 10,000 subscribers. We are so close. We are less than 40 subscribers away from hitting our 10,000 goal this month or last month, but now it's into this month. So we'll keep it going, guys. And thank you so much for making us a part of your day. Let's get right to it. Lex, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about the last voyage of the Demeter.
Demeter, guys. Last Voyage of the Demeter tells of a story of a crew sailing on its way to England to find that they are carrying a very dangerous cargo. That's a pretty simple term here. This film, of course, plays the classic novel of the 1897 novel of Dracula, ladies and gentlemen, the true story of Dracula. And if you haven't already, guys, be sure to check out our out of theater reaction, because me, Alex, and Trey, the whole crew did an out of theater reaction there. And I know a lot of people are going to question it because I said this movie was garbage, and I said it was probably the worst Dracula movie I've ever seen. And that's next to Rainfield. And okay, so to put that into perspective here, because I did say I was going to put that into context, ladies and gentlemen, moviegoers out there. And if you are a huge fan of Dracula, the true essence, the true book knowledge of it, that whole tale of it, I feel like you're gonna like this movie more than I did. I know not a lot of people liked the Dracula Untold. I loved that movie. I mean, that movie was fantastic. Luke Evans did a fantastic job. They changed it up. They changed up the narrative, changed up the story a little bit. They made it more of an underdog story. Like, I have to do this for my people. I really, really enjoyed that movie a lot, way more so. And knowing that they were trying to create a monster universe at that time, I was very excited. I was like, holy crap, he's in our current world. I can't wait to see more of him. I'm a huge fan of Luke Evans in general. I love his acting. I really do. I mean, I enjoy his acting. Every time he's in a movie, I'm like, hell yeah, I'm down. I'm game. And so going into this, I really didn't watch any of the trailers, right? So then after I watched this film, guys, I actually watched the trailer. And yeah, I got to say it sucks. But after watching this, I was like, you know what? I bet you the best parts, the best violent scenes are in the trailer. And for the most part, they are, guys. I hate to say that they are. I mean, a lot of the action sequences are in the trailers. And to put it into more perspective here, the killings, okay, when you go to a Dracula killing, any Dracula killing, even Van Helsing, I guess you could consider that a Dracula movie with Hugh Jackman. I enjoyed that movie. Was good. I loved it. It was really good. I mean, a lot of people were like, no, it was just a cheesy Dracula. For me, I really enjoyed the tale of it from Van Helsing's point of view. And going into it, I was just like, you know what? Going into this film, I was like, I don't know what to expect. I didn't watch a trailer, and I'm glad I didn't. But at the same time, though, I kind of feel like this film was trying to be way more dramatic than it needs to be. I feel like this film was being way more it was being too much of a drama, more so, especially the song choices here, because we talk about song choices all the time. We talk about dramatic scenes, and I feel like they were trying to be a little bit too dramatic on certain cases here. We're no spoilers, by the way, but the reveal of everything was just very, very long. It took a lot longer than expected here. I didn't expect to be I expected to be glamored with blood gripping scenes. It was pointless violence in here. And I hate to say that, because there was a lot of violent scenes where I could have been like, could have done this better. You could have made me, I don't know. You could have done that. You could have not done that. There's certain scenes in here, but yeah, I mean, Lex, what did you think of this film, man? Give us your input on this.
Yeah, so I gotta say, I don't feel as negative as you do on this one, but I agree that for me it left a lot to be desired in terms of the execution.
Yeah.
I do agree with like the sense of fans of the Dracula lore, like perhaps
Yeah.
the authentic novel, and like this movie like doesn't adapt the whole thing. I think it's just based off of the captain's log, right? So it's
Mhm.
all meant to take place in the setting of the transportation that takes
Mhm.
place upon the Demeter ship. I think the concept here was cool, and I think fans of that story can find things to like here, but I just think the execution in the context of it being a movie and playing out,
Yeah.
it just didn't always land. The
Yeah.
actors here, I believe this was a solid cast.
Yes.
However, perhaps due to scripting and things like that, like I found myself feeling that the movie was dragging on a bit much.
Mhm.
Um, like you said, there's obviously killing here, and I didn't care like about the violence so much, but it wasn't creative. Like a lot of it was
Yeah.
repetitive, like the way that certain, like, you can consider them like hunts, I guess,
Mhm.
take place. They're very like formulaic, and like they happened almost the exact same way, which
Yeah.
I thought they could have been a little bit more creative with that. And also, like, since most of the movie takes place in a ship, I thought they were going to be a little more creative about the claustrophobia of that, right? Like
Mhm.
being stuck in a ship. But they made the ship feel so big without really showing us much that,
Yeah.
like, I guess people were okay with not hearing things like from across each other and things like that. Like, I haven't been on a ship that big, but it was like little things that were like
Yeah.
made me like think like, wow, like, it would have been a lot cooler to see
From a different
how
angle.
small of a setting and how compact this whole
Yeah.
thing is, and maybe have characters play into that, but they didn't really do that.
Yeah,
And
yeah, I get that, and I'm not all negative. There's a lot that I want to touch up on that too. Corey Hawkins in here, known as Dr. Dre from Straight Outta Compton. He was great in here. That's the thing too. That's the thing
yeah,
that I always, and the reason why, the reason being, guys, the story for me wasn't well. I mean, but again, if you love that Dracula lore, I feel like you're gonna enjoy this movie more than I did. More so is that, Liam Cunningham, the captain that played this. I've enjoyed him in so many films throughout the ages here. Clash of
he's
the
also
Titans,
in Game
Game
of
of
Thrones.
Thrones. Yeah, Game of Thrones,
Also
Davos. He played
Davos.
Davos in Game of Thrones, which I
It was
enjoyed
great.
him. And that's the thing too. Is it weird for me to say this and call me crazy, call me insane? Is it weird to enjoy the actors more than the characters, more than the movie itself? I mean, I like seeing them on camera. If that makes any sense, I mean, whatever, call me crazy, but I enjoyed one of the other ones I did want to mention as well was the little boy who plays Toby in here, Woody Norman. Holy crap, dude. He is fantastic. He is great in this, in the small role that he plays a supporting role. In
Yeah.
the role that he has in here, it's fantastic. I
Yeah.
enjoyed his character in here. But at the same time, they didn't really give us development. They just showed us, oh, here's
Yeah.
this person. Like, I would say, in my point of view, there was no character development, even for the main actor. I wouldn't even say there's character
Yeah.
development. It was just like, all right, now let's do this. We got to find or just a lot,
Yeah.
a lot of the sequences here, and this film from the trailer. I watched the trailer after the fact. I watched it right before doing this review. It's supposed to give me chills and all that. In the trailer, it kind of leads you to be that point of view, like, oh, it's supposed to give you these creeps and these little thrills. I didn't see that at all in the movie. I hate to say that. It sucks because
Yeah.
I really, especially from a Dracula movie. Okay, Renfield that came out this year. That movie knew what it was. It was a comedy horror slash. It knew what it was, and there was small little thrills in here that I really did enjoy by Nicolas Cage. That I really did enjoy from different angles, especially when he was taking flight. But that movie knew what it was. It was a comedy horror. It wasn't trying to be too serious or too dramatic. It knew exactly what it was. With
Yeah.
this one, I felt like it was trying to be a little bit too dramatic on certain calibers, and I wanted different angles of the ship, and we kind of got that a little bit. Not really. It was just, I don't know. It was kind of misleading to me because I expected to see not more bloody, but more creative story, more creative deaths in here. I hate to say
Yeah.
that, but it's like, we're seeing a movie, so
No, well,
yeah,
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 we knew there was gore involved with a
yeah.
character like Dracula. I gotta say, like, one of the things that I said on the auto theater reaction was like, there's a lot of stylistic choices here that I liked. It's
Mhm.
just as a story and as a package, I don't think the execution made it so that it landed. For
Yeah,
example, I there was some shots where actually, like, I believe this movie is not poorly directed.
yeah.
I think I have more problem with the story in itself, which is an adaptation. But like I said, I don't think they took the liberties that they could have. I personally haven't
Mhm.
read the novel either,
Yeah,
but um, I think they just didn't package it well. But
yeah.
stylistically, there's some shots, there's some scenes that create that tension. Aside from the issues that we've brought up. And then I gotta say, like, I enjoyed the Dracula design.
Mhm.
It is a little bit different, right? Like you said, Ryan, like there are some instances where we do give us the human side, right? Like the human
Mhm.
Dracula, and then he turns into a bat, or he turns into a Batman. And
Yeah.
in here they give us the creature, which I felt like there was some cool, like, it was kind of like a gothic style, like horror
Yeah.
aspect of it. And like some people may think that this was like CGI alone, but no, there was a lot of shots with the Dracula character that are
Yeah.
actually practical effects and makeup.
Oh
And what
wow.
happens is that there is a legit actor that plays Dracula.
Yes.
His name is Javier Botet. Um, he
Yeah.
he like so dialogue wise, there's not much to him. Like think of it as a creature
Two
alone,
words.
but Javier
Yeah.
Botet like is awesome in horror. If you guys are familiar with his work, some of the best like found footage horror movie, in my opinion, is the Wreck series. Not all of them are good. Some of them
Mhm.
kind of fell down, but like Wreck, the original, it's a Spanish film.
Hmm.
And if you guys have ever seen Quarantine is based off of Wreck, and
Okay.
Wreck is better. But there's
Yeah.
also a creature in there played by the same person, Javier Botet.
Oh.
He's played Slender Man in the Slender Man movie. He's I think he's played another role in like other horror movies. I'm not remembering exactly what other ones he's done, but you
Mhm.
guys can look up his resume. He's really awesome. He has a syndrome that makes him like really tall and slender. And so
Yeah.
when you see the Dracula character and like, oh, like people can't have like arms and legs like that, it's
Mhm.
him just in a suit with some other practical effects and things like that. I enjoyed that part of it. Like I said, the style was there. It was
Yeah.
just the overall execution that I don't think it landed. The movie felt like it dragged a little bit too much, and also
Yeah.
time wise, like dragged story wise. So like
Yeah.
there was times where nothing was happening, but then in actuality, like I felt like it was a really long movie. It was a little
Yeah.
bit under 2 hours, but
I
it felt
yeah.
like it took
It
me
felt
longer than
over
that.
2 hours. It felt like it was 2 hours and 30 minutes. I could
Yeah,
have taken down, and let's talk about the runtime. So the runtime you
yeah.
said was exactly
It's
about an hour and 58 minutes. So
yeah,
two
it's
hours.
around that. Yeah,
So I feel like I could have taken out like 25, 20 minutes around there
yeah,
out of this film. And even the ending was just like, okay, like it kind of leaves it open for that world, I guess. It's very weird. I don't know where they're going with this. Yeah.
Universal's been trying to create like a whole universe with
I
the
really,
monsters
I
because they have the
really,
rights.
yeah, and I really wish they would have stuck to their guns with Luke Evans because that was good. It actually, the end credits. If you haven't watched the Dracula Untold, the end credits is that he's here in our world now, and like he's just living among us. And I'm all like, dude,
I didn't
that
watch that, but I don't know, dude. It had like
dude.
25% Rotten
I
Tomatoes. I
know,
don't
but it
always.
was. I like that movie, dude. It was so
Yeah,
damn good. I
I
don't
have
care what
to. I
anyone
have to
says.
watch it. I'm a big
Yeah,
fan of
if you
Luke
need to,
Evans too.
yeah, if you're a big fan, okay, so if you were to compare all the, this is just my take here of all the Dracula movies. I mean, I hate to say, in my point of opinion, as of right now, this is probably like my least favorite out of all the Dracula movies, and it sucks to say that because these are good actors and actresses that played in here. It was maybe
Yeah,
on paper it was a good story, and I kind of felt like they could have changed up a few things, but I think they're going true to the lore of the way the story was told in the book and
yeah,
everything. But even more so though, I felt like I kept seeing, I don't know why, call me crazy, but you see this from the trailer. You see what the creature is. I keep seeing like Gollum, like every single corner, like in the shadows. It just
yeah.
kept reminding me of Gollum, and I was just like,
I
Gollum went AWOL and he grew wings. I was just like, damn, he became possessed by a demon or something. But yeah,
Yeah, I gotta say, like,
yeah,
I mean, the director. I looked at his other work, right? I think one
yeah,
of his most recent, well-known work pieces of work was the Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark. I
yes,
believe that was on Netflix, and I think produced by Guillermo del Toro, if I'm
yeah,
not mistaken. Um, that also, I think that's where the style comes from because that
mm,
the parts that I did see was
mm,
very stylistic. So he does understand horror, and then that's my personal opinion. But I do
yeah,
think like when we look at the story, I think perhaps that's where it kind of fell apart. And I'm looking at the
mm.
who made the story and kind of seeing like the work that he's done.
Well,
He
see,
did this movie
yeah,
with Nicolas Cage called Season of the Witch, The Escape Room. Like
I,
I
I
think
mean, yeah, yeah. I mean,
it's a
on
specific thing that he goes for.
Yeah, even Andre's the director here, and he actually did do Scary Stories. He directed Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
produced, yeah. So, and he made this film as well. So I'm just like, oh snap! Like I get it, but Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, I expected more, but it wasn't terrible. It was good. I
yeah,
thought it was pretty solid. It wasn't great, which I wanted, but again, this is coming from someone that read the books and everything. I wanted to have this, such scary
yeah.
moment here, but for what it came out, it was a good, solid film. I enjoyed it. I really did. I'm not gonna lie. But knowing that he actually made this film, Scary Stories to Tell in the Dark, and then made this one, I'm kind of like, yeah, you could have changed up a little bit. Could have made it more.
I think he needs to
Yeah,
partner up with a good and this is unfair to the person that did the story.
yeah,
There was components here that I enjoyed. Like I said, some of the characters were good in some aspects, but
yeah.
I think if the director is paired with someone a little bit with a better quality of work in terms of the story side of things,
Mhm.
I think that would be a good mix because, like I said, he has the eye for the visual part of things.
Yeah,
So we'll see what comes next. I don't know what Universal's gonna do if they're gonna follow through with this particular universe. I guess it
yeah.
depends on how it does in the box office. I just think like if this is the start of a new thing, like it wasn't as strong of a start as you probably need.
Yeah, and of course, this is based. Again, this is a different iteration of Dracula. This is actually based on the chapter, The Captain's Log of Dracula by Bram Stoker. So that let's put that into perspective, put that context. It's not a regular Dracula movie per se. This is coming from the lore of it, and yeah, I'll just leave it at that. I mean, it wasn't my cup of tea. Like I said already, I just didn't like it. I guess call me crazy, call me like, Ryan, what the heck? You like all that cheesy Dracula? Yeah, I do. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. Dracula 2000, it was cheesy as hell. They changed up the whole philosophy of Dracula. And I know a lot of Dracula fans that do not like that movie, but it's cheesy. It's a guilty pleasure. It really is. But all right, was this fun that we deserved? I'm gonna say, man, I'm gonna say no, man. I'll probably say no. Lex, you think it's the fun we deserved?
No, I mean,
Yeah.
not if you want to start a universe. And once again, I'm not. I
Well,
don't know
I
that
don't.
for sure. But
Yeah,
even just as
it
a
could be an
horror fan,
Elseworld. Yeah, it could
I
be like an Elseworld kind of
I
deal.
think it was smart to go back to the source material of those Dracula stories. There's more
Yeah.
mystique about that. But
Hmm.
if they had done it well, I think we would have been happy.
Yeah.
But I don't think this is what we deserved.
No, definitely. All right, guys. Rating 1 out of 10. 10 be the highest. Lex, when you give this rating?
I'm gonna give this a five. I'm gonna give it a
Okay.
five.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice, nice. All right, I'm gonna have to give this a solid 4, guys. I'm gonna give it a solid 4 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. 4 out of 10 and 5. So we give it about average about 5. I guess we're average around like or 4.8 or something. I don't know. Well,
Yeah.
close to 5. We'll leave it at 5. We're averaging up to a 5, guys. I input out here, so we do this the average film ranking here. And yeah, Dracula fans, if you are a huge Dracula fan to the lore, any Dracula, any films, you just love Dracula movies, you love vampire movies. I do recommend it, but remember, this is a different interpretation of Dracula. It's more so of the captain's log of the origin of Dracula, but it don't make any damn sense because they don't give us an origin of Dracula. But whatever, it just okay, yeah. But I'm all like, what's like they I think the girl says a lot, but like there's a lot of like they don't put it to context. Like okay, like I thought it was gonna be more so an origin, but this is more of a captain's log. But yeah, all right, guys, we'll leave it at that. We'll leave it a little bit average, I guess. I don't know. Do we recommend this film? If you're a Dracula fan, go check it out. If you're not, if you are like waiting on payday, you're like, I'm gonna go see a movie this weekend. Go watch Oppenheimer again. Go, just go. I mean, if it's you're gonna be like, I have to go watch a movie this week. I don't know what to watch and everything. So, but I mean, go watch
I,
Oppenheimer.
yeah.
Just go. I mean,
I
I
think
would.
it's
Yeah.
I
Go.
think it's worth it. It's worth a shot, but don't just walk in with tempered expectations. Know that the
Yeah.
movie drags on a little bit at times and things like that. But I think it's worth checking out from the style
Yeah.
stuff. Like well, like I said, there was a lot that I liked. I do know that there's a better horror movie out that well, at least everyone I've seen says like it's really good. I've yet to see it. I'm gonna see it this week. But Talk to Me,
Oh
it's
yeah,
a
it's a great
better
film.
horror movie.
Yeah,
I've heard really great things.
it's
So like,
great.
if you have your pick and you're going for horror, perhaps this is the way that you go. But at the end of the day, guys, you know,
It's your choice.
check it out.
Go
It's
check it
your
out,
choice.
man. Go
Yeah.
check out movies. Don't thank you for comment on down below. Ryan, what are you guys talking about? I love this movie. Put on comments down below. We want to hear your thoughts, guys. We want to talk about movies with you here at this Movie Talk Studio. So be sure to let us know your thoughts down below. But opening weekend, guys, we got Gran Turismo coming out, which we got a review already out there, guys. Gran Turismo and this film as well. So if I had a choice to pick between the two, and there's also Jules coming out, I will be doing a Jules review about an alien that lands on a planet with Ben Kingsley, which looks ecstatic, looks really good. I will be seeing that on Friday night, and I would be sure to check out a review, guys, of that on Saturday. But Jules comes out this week, so if you had a choice between Jules, Gran Turismo, or The Last Voyage, I would probably say Gran Turismo. Go check out that film, guys. If you want to go see a popcorn film, go check out Gran Turismo, based on a true story, ladies and gentlemen, by Sony Pictures. And yeah, go check that film out. I would say that. I recommend that. That's just my take here. But if you're going for horror, you want to see something scary, go with Lex's take as well. I agree as well. Talk to Me. But if you're just like, I need to see a movie this weekend, go see Oppenheimer, go see Gran Turismo. That's almost, or go see Barbie. I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
Guys. All right. Thank you so much. As always, I'm your host, Ryan D. Color Ryan 680.
This was Lex. Thank you, everyone.
Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe to us on our Alamo City Movie Talk page, and be sure to let us know on let us know what you thought of the film on your comments down below. Have a good one, guys. Stay safe, San Antonio.